It is 1 a.m. in the morning and I couldn't sleep, so I decided to cook instead. The idea is that you play Lazuli Gateway Liberator to shuffle in 1-cost Radiant artifacts into your deck, and then the only thing that Hall of Monoliths can pull is the 1-cost Radiant and Anthanida. And then you can use Anthanida, evolve, clone a Blazing Barrage that you pull off of Lazuli for a 1 play point 2 damage spell to supplement the storm damage from your Radiant artifact. In the top end, we have Odin to help banish stuff, Kirzael to storm, and Synthetic Eden to burn, or if you're in a pinch, draw a bunch of cards. In the mid game, you have a bunch of draw to help you get the combo, including Father of Medicine, who specifically pulls either Lazuli or the Radiant that you shuffle in. Goddess of Compassion can help you ramp, or you can clone it with Anthanida and go for a more control game plan. If you're doing that, maybe include one of Battlecruiser as well. One of Case Cracked helps you get through wards with your storms. Twofold Grace is just a good spell, Angel of Darkness, because I've been facing a lot of heal and buff for some reason. And Sisterly Bond simply for the Spinaria's artifact as a 1 play point play to tutor your Lazuli or your Radiants. I tested a more controlling shell, I tested a more mid-rangey shell, I tested a more aggro shell, and I lost a lot of master points while doing so. To be clear, this deck is not good. Please do not think that it is. Net deck it and then blame me when you lose, but it is kind of hilarious. That being said, I'm gonna show you games where it did work out, because watching a meme deck lose to tier 1s is not content. And hopefully you find these games as fun as I found them, but first make sure to like the video and subscribe. It really does help out. So here's a game against Havencraft. I'm pretty sure it's Heal Haven. My brain is a mess right now. It's the early morning, but I'm having fun. Anyway, like I said, I did test a bunch of different variations of this list over the past hour and a half or so, because I was bored. So you're gonna see some different card ratios, some different cards in general than the list you saw at the beginning of the video. That's just what I landed on at the very end. That being said, the basic combo is still the same, Lazuli, Hall of Monoliths, and we have it in hand right here while going first, which is very nice. Going first, I would have liked a better tempo play on turn 2 instead of provisions there, but you know, you can't always get what you want, but this is about as good as it's gonna get for me. Hall of Monoliths comes out, the combo! 7 damage face! And I know for a fact that Heal Haven, Illuvia, their weakest turn is their evolve turn, and they don't even get the Illuvia here. I think they know, right? Because if they played Illuvia and evolved it into my guy and had no other play other than that, I would have just like eaten them alive. That being said, I'm still eating them alive with the second Hollow Monoliths, the Fiery Barrage, fusing a Father of Medicine. I don't need you anymore. I already got my guys out. And another bunch of damage to the dome. Can they recover from this? I don't know. Could it be, there you go, Sekhmet and Lu? But no Illuvia, so they have to play another Lu? And then it's a very scuffed play. But I kind of put on the pressure so hard that they couldn't do anything. Again, on that turn, even if they had Illuvia, it would have only been able to take out 1 body out of like 4. So there you go. I love it when a plan comes together. And here we are again against Havencraft, which has gotten quite popular on ladder of late. This is when I was testing out a more controlling shell with Battlecruiser and more leading towards the cloning goddess with Anthanida game plan. I've been through it, man. It's been a long past hour and a half. But anyway, we got a turn 1 play going first, which I'm happy about. And they just go ahead and pass turn 1 as they're wont to do. Go ahead and play another Spinaria's artifact. Who needs draw? I have Lazuli anyway, so we have the turn 3 tempo play, and then all I need to do from there is draw Hall of Monoliths, right? How hard could that be? So Lazuli come out, and then I'm happy to see the Father of Medicine here. At this point, I'm really hoping the Father of Medicine can help me pull the 1 play point Radiant right off the bat instead of another Lazuli, because that would be an amazing tempo play on turn 4. And again, same principle as last time with Illuvia. Their evolve turn is their weakest turn. I did not get the 1 play point, and here I'm regretting not pre-fusing the Fiery Barrage, but it's fine. There's the Illuvia, and you're gonna see what I mean. This is the alternate universe of that last game where the guy did have Illuvia and evolved it on the Evo turn. So they evolve it turn 4, taking out only one body of 3. Very similar to the situation the game state was in that last game. And guess what I got off the top, baby? Hall of Monoliths. And now with the Blazing Barrage in hand, I get to evolve Anthanita, clone the Blazing Barrage, and get more 1 play point 2 damage ping spells straight to the dome, which is so much burn alongside the Radiance. Okay, now they're already at 5 defense on turn 5. They try and go for a ambush game plan. I don't know how they're clearing my board this way, though. I don't know how they're clearing my board this way. They would need Verdilia Lu or something like that, right? No Lu. No Lu. They had to trade. They think they're safe, but oh, what's in the back? It's Hall of Monoliths. And we go phase. And finally, a game against Shadowcraft, against Reanimate Shadowcraft, in fact, which a lot of people are calling the best deck in the game right now, especially with recent tournament performance and the fact that it can high roll so hard as early as turn 5. The thing about Reanimate Shadowcraft is, although it's a very performant deck, it's a very hard deck to pilot. So I think a lot of people who are using it on ladder still need a bit more practice to use it to its full efficiency. Myself included, by the way. Well, I'm not playing Reanimate Shadow anymore, but when I was playing Reanimate Shadow, I still felt like I had a long way to go. So regardless, they play the provisions here. Turn 2, they must have top decked that Caridwen and didn't feel good about playing it, so went ahead and fused it. I had 1 drop, 2 drop into 3 drop. This, by the way, is the list that I showed at the beginning of the video. This is the final game I played with this deck, and I was like, okay, it beat Reanimate Shadow. I can wrap it up here. It's not gonna get better than that. So we go ahead and draw into the Lazuli, which is very nice. I pre-fuse, I believe, the Fiery Barrage because I have the Lazuli anyway. So go ahead and play Blazing and then Lazuli to draw my final Fiery Barrage, and hopefully I'll be able to clone that with Anthanita soon. Obviously, the best possible draw here is Hall of Monoliths, but you know, you're not going to hear that sentence every day or ever again from any other video. The best possible draw is Hall of Monoliths, but they end up being able to bury their Helio as well as getting a Caridwen down. So I'm like, okay, what's the target? What's the target? I haven't seen the target yet, and this is the problem that I had when I was playing the more what's it called? The more, I'm blanking on the word. The more polished list of Reanimate, where they round only 2 of the target because the deck draws so hard anyway, but because you only run 2 of the target, whether it be Gilgamesh or whatever, it ends up being a lot harder to draw it on time for a potential high roll. So unfortunately for them, even though that is quote-unquote the best build of the deck, the fact that it makes it harder to get your combo, usually it wouldn't be a problem because you draw so much anyway, but in this case it was, and they don't get Gilgamesh and instead they get Grave Adjudicator, which isn't bad. It's not bad. It's playable, but it's not great because I see that I have Synthetic Eden in hand and I just sit. And I think they actually made a mistake here, because they could have played Grave Void Knight and evolved it for heal, right? But they didn't. And they must have just been underestimating me because I play Hall of Monoliths. So I'm like, bro, ever heard of this little card called Synthetic Eden? And no matter what the board state was like, I could have gotten lethal here if they didn't heal because I had the evolve point still to switch the polarity of my Eden. Very nice.